Hi, I'm Michael Cunningham, IT Director at Maryland Realtors. This is part 1 in our data security series, and we will discuss cyber criminals and a few of the methods they use to take advantage of realtors. Be sure to check out part 2 of the series, How to Stop Them. The real estate industry has, for the most part, avoided the targeted attacks that plague the financial and healthcare sectors. Realtors primarily face opportunistic criminals using automated tools to target as many potential victims as they can. They attack thousands of potential victims at a time, hoping for a 1 to 4% success rate. Almost all opportunistic cybercrimes boil down to one of two things: stealing information to sell on the dark web or extorting money from the victim directly. Most automated attacks focus on stealing certain types of data that are commodity items to black market criminals. Items like driver's licenses and social security numbers are used for identity fraud. Medical charts for insurance fraud. Consumer accounts like Netflix or Hulu are sold to unscrupulous consumers. Although sophisticated, targeted attacks are still rare in our industry, realtors do make attractive victims because of their access to financial information in digital form like checks and credit cards, documents that contain social security numbers and other confidential information, clients that are moving large sums of money, confidential data which is shared with unfamiliar agents and clients, and access to MLS data on vacant properties. At some point, we should expect our industry to become the target of more of these types of attacks. Some bolder criminals who have penetrated a victim's computer choose to blackmail or extort victims directly. They obtain the person's most personal data and threaten to expose the information to the person's professional or social contacts. Recently, ransomware has become the tool of choice for these criminals. Using a piece of malware that locks the user's files, the victim is required to pay to regain access. There are 4 primary causes of data breaches: credential exploitation, viruses or malware, physical theft, and software flaws. Credential exploitation is by far the greatest source of data breaches. In fact, 90% of all attacks start with a compromised login. Attackers typically get your credentials in one of 3 ways: phishing attacks, password reuse or compromised lists, or brute force attacks. Phishing attacks are fraudulent attempts to obtain your credentials to a given site or install a piece of software. A criminal will send emails, text, or even call thousands of people, attempting to trick them into taking action. Statistics show that up to 20% of victims followed links provided by these scams, and about 1.5% of individuals actually provide the credentials. Password reuse is another major issue. Every day, websites and applications have data breaches and have their user databases compromised. Criminals can use an automated tool to try those credentials on many different websites, hoping that you use the same password on more than one. Brute force attacks are the least subtle form of attack. Criminals utilize a list of common passwords to try and guess your password. These types of attacks are normally carried out on servers or high-value targets, as they are very time-intensive for the criminal. Viruses and malware are programs that are installed on the victim's computer. They are often installed by the user themselves, either through phishing emails or from questionable downloads. Most of us run dozens of programs or apps every day without even thinking about it. Major software houses like Apple and Microsoft come out with periodic patches to fix these vulnerabilities, but there is always a period between discovery and a patch. Hackers use this window to quickly write exploits to take advantage of these flaws. Although most common thieves aren't cyber criminals, they are opportunistic and may attempt to sell information from a laptop or portable device. Realtors should be especially careful because using tools like the MLS, they can locate new victims to target. Also, be aware that having any sensitive data like social security number or credit card information stolen, even from a laptop or phone, may need to be reported due to Maryland's security breach laws. Well, that's it for part 1. Hopefully you've learned a little bit about the bad guys and some of their methods. In part 2, How to Stop Them, we'll explore strategies for stopping or at least mitigating the damage done from cybercriminals. Thanks for watching.